Please stop.
I was going to keep going until you said something. I'm pretty sure my 2-year-old's been using this. So I was like, I don't want to touch it.
Wow.
Anyways, welcome to 100X Engineering, episode 8. We've done 8 of these. That's
Wow.
crazy. If we do 2 a month, that means we've been doing this for 3-4 months now.
Too long.
That's crazy. And we're getting old. I think I've got a gray hair in my, whatever you want to call this, on my face. So,
Same. Got one on my mustache. It's from the show for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to call this one Drew. Drew's giving me gray hairs, everyone. Welcome to 100X Engineering, the show where you will learn the skills, precepts, talents, stories, things that will help you be not a 1X, 10X, 11X, but 100X engineer. We've got a pretty exciting topic today that we'll be talking about. But before that, Drew, did you do any bodybuilding this weekend?
Wow, what a strange question, Carter. I actually did not do any bodybuilding this weekend.
You failed to build your body this weekend?
I did not. I might have actually torn my body down because.
What's the answer? If you're not doing that, are you doing body destroying?
That's kind of what bodybuilding is. You body destroy and then you build it back up with sleep and eating right and resting. But I did not rest. I did a lot of work on my house this weekend and it was painful. Yeah, but no bodybuilding, unfortunately.
I want to explore this concept of like body destroying more, but that sounds weird, so we're not going to do that.
It's not the topic for today. Maybe another episode.
Our 2.4 million viewers are not interested in that. I picked up an old hobby recently. I was talking to people. I've started lock picking whilst talking to people. I won't do it on the stream, but I will be tempted to. But it's like kind of having a fidget spinner, but it's like Ocean's 11 fidget spinner.
Advanced fidget spinner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, sweet. I got this lock. I actually can't pick this one. I'm really bad at it. But
that's really cool. It's a cool hobby. And it's also kind of scary that you have that ability, but good for you.
For those of you watching, there is a running joke on our team, Drew and I, that you look at Drew and his aesthetic and his house and his orange light and everything, and like I'm like, Drew, I bet your house smells good. Like, I bet you're a candle man. And somehow that devolved into the team assuming that one day Drew's going to come out and see Carter in his living room at 2 a.m. They're like, Drew, your candles. I was right. I'll see myself out now.
With his lock-picking skills, yes.
With my lock-picking skills. Needless to say, you have nothing to worry about because I can't open this one.
Yet.
Yeah. It's better than what? A master number 996. You're safe.
We're full of inside jokes here at Saturn, Team Saturn here, JupiterOne.
Well, they're outside jokes now that it's on YouTube. And
they are. Millions of people.
For all our viewers on Twitch watching. Anyways, Drew, do you want to give a brief intro to our guest?
Yeah, I never do our guest really justice because I don't prepare too much for this. But our guest today is Carson. He is a relatively new member.
Round of applause for Carson Called. Oh, I can't do a round of applause.
Oh, we're just going to drop him in here? I didn't even get to intro him. He can intro himself.
I was going to say.
That is his name, and I have to bring it in. Now you have to.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Carson's here with an amazing hat.
Yeah. I had to live up to your entrances, so I got this from Halloween last year as one of the inflatable tube guys. So I had to put this together.
The wacky wavy.
Yeah, it's like a wacky wavy character. So it's still sitting on the bookshelf, like out for anybody that visits the house to see.
Do you ever just like wear it out? Like it's kind of a cool hat.
I'll wear it out once in a while. Yeah, if I'm feeling like funky. The other day on the street, somebody was selling bucket hats too, and so I have a frog bucket hat that I'll wear out.
Awesome.
So
New York sounds like a crazy place.
There's crazy stuff that happens all the time. Drew can tell you on Zoom meetings.
That is true.
You probably hear sirens all the time.
Lots of noise. That's mostly what it is.
Tell us about yourself aside from the fact that you have impeccable taste in hats.
Well, I'm originally from Utah, so I have that in common with Carter. I grew up there in Park City. I was a big ski bum for a long time. Went to school down in Orem, if you're familiar with the area. I went to school for marketing. Started part-time at Target during that time, which turned into a whole career. Ended up in construction. So I led quite a few remodels and new store openings throughout Salt Lake and the Valley there, a few in Denver. That's actually what brought me out to New York. So I came to New York about 4 years ago. Pandemic hit, and I think that made a lot of people reevaluate what they were doing. Construction's hard. too. Like it's on your feet. It's in a lot of different boroughs. I really enjoyed it, but it was time for a little bit of a change. I did some hobbyist programming stuff in college, so I revisited that. Went back to school and have been at JupiterOne since February.
That's crazy that you've been here since February already. That's gone by really fast. I did construction for like 3 months and I was like, cannot. I am so bad at this. That is a difficult craft. Before we dig into kind of the episode, so the spoilers to everyone watching, kind of the topic for the episode is we're going to be talking about on-site and a hackathon, effective hackathons, ineffective hackathons, all the above. But before we dig into that, that's a pretty big career shift coming from like construction into software engineering. Like, were you like out there like hitting stuff with hammers and like doing the jackhammer and everything with like a hard hat on, or were you like the guy from Up who's got like the sunglasses and the suit and gets hit in the head with the mailbox?
I think I was somewhere in between. So I'm not any sort of contractor or flooring or lighting or electrician expert. So I worked in a division of the company called Field Implementation. So with retail construction in and of itself is like a behemoth subsection of construction. So with huge big box companies like that, there's a lot like domain specific languages and processes and things that evolve over time. Like if you think about it, kind of drawing parallels to a framework, like how to use certain tools, like the lingo that we use, how to keep things on pace, how to get third parties, so a flooring contractor, a lighting contractor, into our space and have them understand like the priorities of the company, how to minimize disruption for the guests, how to remodel an entire sales floor, like $40 million worth of merchandise in a way that's like not disruptive. And then people don't just like randomly stock stuff. It's all like algorithmic and very calculated and determined on how things go. And that determines like our supply chains and how things get into the stores and how many we keep in the store and what our expected daily sales. So there's like a lot of numbers that go on behind the scenes. So my role was really to, it's called the owner site representative. So teach general contractors and trades our priorities to target and keep them on pace throughout the duration of the project.
Wow, that sounds really intense, and I want to go down so many rabbit holes for the parallels between this and programming you started to touch on. I think that sounds pretty similar. It sounds like you could draw a lot of comparisons there, but we're not going to do that because that'll take a long time. So when you went to a boot camp, right? Was what kind of when you started to make that switch. I believe it was Flatiron.
Yeah, Julia and I both had gone to Flatiron here in New York.
Julia, episode 2, 100x engineering.
Link in the show notes. How was that? Did you have a similarly good experience? I believe Julia had a good experience.
Yeah, I had a really good experience. I think with any sort of like education thing, when you go into it, you need to understand like there's not a guarantee at the end. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to get a job. Like I would draw parallels to college in a lot of ways. Like you go in and it's about the work that you put in and the networking that you make and the stuff that you do in addition to the learning that's there. Like what other types of frameworks did I learn? Did I do a hackathon? Did I collaborate on somebody else in a code base? Did I deploy something that's online? Like those types of things pay a lot of dividends as you enter the job market. And I think like the soft skills are super important too in that you develop.
100%.
I feel like developing soft skills in like a construction environment is like very different. You're the way you communicate with everybody in construction is just like very, very different than on a team of software engineers. Not saying for better or for worse, just for very different. I want to explore this further. I'm gonna. Mm-hmm. Is it time to introduce our game? Can we do that real quick? Because I want to. I need to introduce Carter. Your decision, Carter. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna introduce our game real quick. We'll continue with this because I just made a big promise in Slack to everybody watching. Like, come join us with Shell Shockers. So we're gonna talk about Shell Shockers real quick. Shell Shockers TM is a free online game that will pester you if you have your ad blocker on like me. Essentially Halo or a first-person shooter, but instead of being a Spartan or a soldier, you are an egg. So it's very wholesome because we're just shooting eggs. I'm going to create a private match here. For those of you that want to join us, we're going to play. We just played the Castle Arena for we have like a 30-minute prep call before this, and we spent pretty much the whole time just playing.
So if we seem a little less prepared than normal.
Yeah. Let's do Bastion. This looks cool. All right, we're going to do this. And then I will drop the link here in YouTube. For those of you watching on LinkedIn, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can actually comment back to you guys. Did I get the link? No, I did not. Yes, I did. All right. I'm going to send this in YouTube. Feel free to join us. Spoilers, watch out. Drew is mean with the sniper rifle. Nah, you're not mean with the sniper rifle. You're mean with the rocket launcher.
Yeah, Carter's mean with the sniper rifle.
Carter is going to rock the shotgun, though. So now the real challenge begins for 100x engineering. Now we have to do this whilst talking, which we definitely practiced before. I'm in here by myself, though. But if you join us, Shift lets you zoom in. Left-click shoots. Q, you hold down to throw a grenade. The more you hold it down, the further you throw it. I've just been kind of doing this thing where I just throw it right in front of me. Okay. R reloads and E switches to your pistol. So if you got all that, jump in. Oh, we got Lord Bird. Feel free to change your name also, so I know who to call out or who to curse. Whilst
Car son of a gun.
Oh man, we got some. Okay, Lord Bird.
You and McGregor.
Lord Bird. Car son of a gun. I'm gonna watch video for free eggs. I'm not gonna do that on the stream. Anyways, shifting into the topic for the stream here. So we had a Saturn, or we had an applications team on site recently. Our whole team is remote. We have one person in the office, Henry, in 100x Engineering, episode 1. Or episode 0. I can't remember what we titled it. But our whole team's remote, so that was actually a really big deal. We did a lot of things. We'll kind of touch on that a little bit more. But Carson, having been here for 3-4 months, what was your experience going from meeting pretty much nobody on the team to just everybody all at once?
To be honest, I felt like I had great connections with the team already going into that, so there wasn't anything that was super surprising to me. I mean, there's some I never seen the lower half of anybody's body, but we're on Slack and connect with each other pretty much all day, and we'll jump in a huddle, which is like a Slack Zoom. So I did feel like we had some awesome connections with people beforehand. But there's something to be said, I think, about in-person work too, and just building those types of connections and friendships.
I agree. Having been here for almost 4 years now, it was weird for me. Most of the people I work with have worked with me for less than a year. I met over 13 people for the first time in person. Drew, we've met in person once before, but that had to have been a lot of people for you as well, right?
It was. I mean, most everyone there I hadn't met in person, and very similar experience. It felt natural, but it also was a little strange seeing everyone's legs and how tall everyone was and their mannerisms and up close, And to Carson's point about the interactions themselves, it was interesting because in a remote environment, you can't necessarily bug somebody if they're trying to ignore you. But we did do a little work, which we'll talk about here in a bit. And it was fun being able to just walk over to where that person was working or in their office and ask them a question, and they couldn't ignore your Slack message. So I found that interesting because, that wouldn't be fun long term.
Carter can't hide.
Carter could not hide. A few of our team members could not hide from my messages because I went and found them.
That's very true.
For better or worse.
Also, whoever Heyo Mayo is, I'm coming for you because they've killed me 3 times. Oh my gosh. And Lord Bird now. Wait, you're Lord Bird, right? Carson? No, maybe not.
I am Car son of a gun.
Oh, that's right. Why do I not see you in there? Car son of a gun. So those are some things that I think were pleasantly surprising. How about, were there some things that were unpleasantly surprising to you about working with the team in person for the first time? Or I guess
Drew smells terrible.
Yeah,
do not. That
was a lie. Drew smells like his cat.
That is defamation. I will see you in court.
Yeah, Drew is many things, but poor smelling is never even close to that.
I'd get so self-conscious if you were serious. I'd have to go more candles.
I think some of the barrier to like accessing certain people, so like the fact that I can't just like pop over to Drew every second that I have a question has actually helped me grow in some ways, because like as a junior engineer, I need to be able to look things up and check out documentation and do like proper homework before I go ask him for help.
Right.
Totally. I was going to mention it when you commented on earlier about your success in the boot camp and just in general, because I think that's a big factor of our field that people, don't look at too much, but that piece of it helps you learn, and it also helps me get work done.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of bad because obviously I want to help, and everyone on our team wants to help, but there's a certain amount of that that's appropriate, So
yeah, absolutely.
You have a good point there.
Drew, was it you that I was talking about this earlier with like one of the best things that one of my team leads did when I worked at Podium was like he put me in an environment. Wow, that was an incredible grenade throw, dude. He put me in an environment where I couldn't ask him for help. All he did was he took all the junior and mid-level engineers out of the same room as the senior engineers and moved them into the room next door. And that made like a huge difference in like our growth.
And whether or not that was for him just wanting to get rid of you guys or for the benefit of, your personal growth, there's no way to really tell. But
sure. Yeah. Maybe just feel less guilty because he let us go play Rocket League 3 times a day. Podium was a great company and had no problems.
Sponsored by Podium.
I actually really like it. I need to be careful. But wow, how did that not kill the top hat, dude? Okay, here we go. Nope. Okay. I think some of the things like I made this joke several times, but I was like really pleasantly surprised how easy like everyone was to like be able to organize. Like people just like. I didn't have to micromanage near as much as I thought I was going to, because it's like first time doing it. Like I've never done this in person with a group of people before. You guys, it turns out, were able to get from the hotel to the office without any assistance. You were able to call Uber.
Your expectations were very low for us, surprisingly. You expected us not to show up when we were scheduled to show up places and not be able to self-organize.
For everything, even some of the things that were extraneous, I would say. We had a pretty jam-packed schedule for the 4 days, though. We did a bunch of stuff. I don't know what we did. First night, I was like trying to figure out like what we could do to get everyone out of their rooms that first night, because some people got in at like 11, some people got in at like 4. So I went to go get pizzas. No, I don't want to spend $20 on this game. Sorry. I went to go get pizzas, and it just like the heavens opened up and like dumped on me for like the 2 seconds I was outside of the van. Oh yeah. Also, somebody on our team, somebody at the company lent us their like 15 passenger van for the week, which was awesome. That was super fun. I kind of felt like driving everyone around. We had a pizza party the first night. We went and drove go-karts. We had a hackathon. We played hide and seek. We can talk more about that later.
Yeah, it was jam-packed.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
We got work done though, right?
We got a ton done.
Yeah, we did get a good bit of
work done. Weirdly large amount of work done. How did being in the office with your team affect the way you do work? Also, whoever's up there on top of the building just got shot by like 3 rockets in a sniper, and they all missed.
I think it was me.
It's a dangerous spot to be up there.
Very dangerous spot to be. Now die.
Repeat your question. Sorry, I had to add.
Yeah, sorry, I was busy sniping you. I was trying to distract you. Die you as well. So what were some of like the benefits, I guess, some of the other benefits of like working? Were you able to get more work done, different work done?
I think it's different work for me. I wasn't able to sit down and like put my head down and work on a ticket all day, but I don't think that was the in-person. The point of being in person is to hide behind a computer all day. So
that's fair.
I think that there was a lot of like connections that I had formed with people that are on different teams that otherwise I don't interact with on a day-to-day basis. So like some of the other applications team that are in different squads. And I think like just in-person relationships too, building like, I don't know, just talking about things that aren't work, pay dividends at work later, because I understand like somebody's motive and how they operate. And if maybe I have an issue with a line of code or comment on a PR, it doesn't feel like you know, there's like an underlying sense of like trust and knowing that person. Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, hopefully you guys all know if I give like a 1-word response to something, you've been around me in person, you know, I'm not being an ass, you know, I'm just probably busy. But you can like hear the tone that somebody says things with.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is surprisingly important. You think you'd get that from like being in Zoom, but like you don't get like that ad hoc, like you don't get to see how Drew reacts when Drew's just like sitting there and somebody surprises him, or I don't know, how excited somebody gets when bring in bagels for breakfast. I don't know where I'm going with this. People did get excited about the bagels actually, but
it's intangible almost, but everyone understands it. Like we have all these tools that make remote life work, and it just can't quite replicate the in-person environment yet. I mean, I don't know if it ever will, but I know it doesn't now. So I think I agree with what you guys are saying. It's hard to articulate.
One thing I noticed was the conversation side of like creating software. Like there's a lot of like planning that has to go into like effective feature. Well done, you knew I was coming. There's like a lot of like planning that has to go into like making an effective feature. And like, we got Chum here. Chum is gonna
kill Chum.
I think one thing that I was able to do more effectively was the planning side, like the conversing side of like creating software. I talked with somebody about we're redoing how we handle icon loading and stuff, and that was way easier to do in person than it was like async or ad hoc sync over Zoom. It's hard to have like conversing and planning is just different over Zoom. You can do it. It's just there's elements you're missing. I feel like.
Yeah. It's hard to pull up like a good version of a whiteboard. I feel like there's no good digital version of a whiteboard. There's like Miro or anything
right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like
good idea. I just need a developer now. What if we make virtual whiteboard? Problem solved. Yeah, it's weird. Like I don't get why that is, but yeah, it's just not the same. Oh my gosh, you look so scary, Drew. Like, I don't know if you see it on the stream, but your face just looks like very Silence of the Lambs egg. So was it exhausting going from like not being around people to being around people for 3-4 days?
Gosh, yes. It was weird how exhausting it was not being used to that much social interaction.
I think for some of the team, it's like the whole introvert extrovert thing.
Yeah, I just exposed myself for being very introverted.
I totally loved it. I called my partner, almost every night. He's like, "How's it going? How's North Carolina?" And I'm like, "It's a blast." I loved everything that we did and getting to know the team. And I think for extroverted people, it's really invigorating.
Yeah, we're in software engineering. There's a lot of introverts in software engineering as well. It's like we didn't go into sales or marketing because we don't want to talk to people. Because oh, you're going. No, you're not going down. You're going to jump off that building. You're going down. No, no. I was about to make a play live in front of our 2.4 million viewers. I'm a weird one on the introvert extrovert scale. I am like an introverted extrovert or vice versa. I don't know, but like I loved being around people and I get thrilled about it, and then like go back to my hotel room and it's like dead.
Yes,
the rest of the night.
Very, very similar. I didn't mean to make it sound like I didn't enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience.
Oh yeah,
I just was exhausted. I'm on a 10 kill streak, by the way. Not to brag.
Holy cow, you're on 10?
I think, yeah. Your egg is like blinking red.
Oh gosh. Okay, everybody look for the Silence of the Lambs egg. Gang up on Drew. On top of the
No.
Gotcha.
11 kill streak was the record.
That was good to see. That's recorded for posterity now. Your shame is going to be public for you and your progeny, Drew. As will your glory, though, for getting up to 10 eggs.
11 kill streak. Thank you very much.
Holy cow. My max is 3. I think that's what the egg at the top of the screen means. Oh my gosh, I need a new gun. It was interesting. I tried to accommodate it for everybody, like, because like sitting at a desk for like 4 days as well, with like sitting next to people when I'm used to like just being alone in my office the whole time. I didn't understand it. Okay. I think there is a headshot. Or there's
you hit me too. Yeah, you only did half health, but I had some.
Yeah, but I was freshly freshly hatched or freshly laid, and
You were freshly laid, Carter.
the egg had been produced and got killed. Yeah, I tried to like set it up where like, okay, this is like an area. If you're working in this area, you do not talk to the engineers. Or like, there's an office, but there's like enough desks around that if you want to work around people, you can, and if you don't want to work around people, you can. Did we?
I think that was
keep
smart.
that goal? Did you guys pick up on that at all?
I feel like it was a good balance in the office of like being in a social setting versus sitting down and doing work.
I'd agree. Drew, what are your thoughts?
I actually had to think about it for a second because I didn't really pick up on how deliberate that was, but it did end up working out like that. Definitely felt like I could have either environment work in.
Yeah, it's just hard because our office, glorious though it may be, is filling up. So we had to pour Christy. Christy, if you're watching this, Christy, you're incredible. Thank you so much for all your help with that. The food was great and the tables were awesome and everything.
That was amazing.
It was like scrambling, egg pun.
Scrambling.
Try and find somewhere to like put all of our tables because we have like the office is already at capacity. Pretty sure we didn't break any fire codes, but like that was a concern. If we did break fire codes, I would never admit it on the stream. I had before. Just like I won't admit on a stream that we definitely had a hard time making multiple trips with the van, so we tried to maximize our van capacity. Let's talk about the hackathon.
Yeah, we had a hackathon.
Yeah,
that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, Drew, do you want to give like a brief overview of what the hackathon consisted of, or like what it was?
Yeah, I can try. I mean, it was pretty straightforward.
I asked you at this rocket, and I missed.
It'd be better if I could snipe while I'm doing it. So it was through a site called JS Battle, I believe was the site. We basically paired up. I think there was one group of 3, and the task was to basically program a tank in this simple interface. And you're basically programming a simple AI for this tank, and then you battle each other with your tanks. And so the tanks had different controls. You had like a radar on top of it, so you couldn't necessarily have all the information unless you scanned for it in your environment. And it had a little REPL type thing where you could, program your tank and see what your changes did, and AIs and guides and everything, and lots of docs for it. And we were just kind of let loose on this task to make a murder machine and then have a deathmatch tournament in a couple hours to see who won. And it was surprisingly fun.
I'm glad to hear that. Was there how long did you guys have to make the tank?
I believe we had
3 hours.
3.5 hours. Carson and I were on the same team, and I thought we had an extra hour because when the bell was blown, we were a little unprepared. However, as no spoilers, but our tank did not do as bad as we thought.
It was not as bad as we thought.
Your tank. I'm going to show a video of it in a second. Was there a degree of skepticism around this activity, around like the time limit? How did your perception of the time change throughout the course of it? Like, was it like, oh, that's too long? Like, what are we gonna do for 3 hours? Or was it like that was way too fast?
I didn't think it was too long, but definitely as it went on, there was like increased panic. As time was ticking. But no, I didn't think it was like, oh, great, this is too much time.
What am I gonna do with Drew for 3 hours?
Oh, I knew that it was gonna be like very ambitious and have like, just working with Drew every day, like the goals of creating a murder machine is like right up Drew's alley.
Yeah, that was very much appropriate. I'm glad you acknowledged that, Carson, in front of our millions of viewers. But the time, I agree with that. The time seemed to creep up on us, and it was something we could talk about because it was very representative of just day-to-day planning and work, and how I think, Carson, we spent a little bit too much time on the whiteboard where we probably should have hit the ground running and been a little bit more iterative. I know we got caught implementing some features in our tank that we ended up having to back out of and left us kind of our tank a little bit crazy, which is fine. It ended up working out, but it was definitely a lesson in time management, I guess.
That feature turned into a very quirky aspect of our tank that mostly drove in reverse.
The most surprising aspect of it for sure. I can't jump off the edge. That is maddening. Okay, I'm gonna switch the stream really quick to show in the tank here in the tank video.
Yeah, I want to watch this again.
We're not gonna watch all 4 minutes, but you can see we've got the tanks in here. This is on my personal OneDrive, so really, can I make this full screen? There we go. Yeah, so we've got. This isn't your guys' tank, right? This is Titan. This is the number 1 and number 2 tanks actually. They went off on the first one. So we had this team. They wrote some algorithm that would scan for the tank. And I don't think they actually even scanned for the tank. They just circled around and did Space Invaders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the number 2 tank, the one that's bumping into the walls and everything. Let's see if we can find yours. You guys had. Wow, they lasted a while.
Called it the printer because it just went back and forth and printed death.
Yeah. This is Facehugger, which and Aqua Classico, which does the the alien thing of latching on and aptly named. That was kind of the strategy that you guys did, right? Of let's see, we got Facehugger and Coffee there. Oh yeah, you guys
could call it that.
Yeah, Squirt Gun and Aqua Classic. Squirt Gun, that's you guys, right?
Squirt Gun is us.
Yeah, you guys took the approach of lock onto target and then ram them as close as you can, right?
Squirt would get a little aggressive in close quarters, yes.
Yes. If the right conditions were met, then it was super aggressive.
It was game on. No backing down.
I thought that was so funny because Facehugger was also 2-3 people from your team as well. Oh yeah, this was interesting. And you guys independently created very similar products or very similar implementations of these things.
Look at these two go.
So close.
That was so close. That was our one win.
Yeah. I think there's all sorts of interesting analogies that you can draw between this 3-hour, 3.5-hour exercise and a real sprint though. You kind of touched on that already of all right, I'm getting back into shooting now, by the way. I was so proud. I thought surely the biggest weakness in a hackathon is when you come with more than you can bite off in the time limit. You get no points for partial completion. You either finish it or you do not finish it, right? And you're going down. Nope, I'm going down. Okay. But each of you, everybody came with the tank, and they all worked reasonably well. Some better than others, but all of them were complete. None of them felt like they were just strewn together. And you guys planned, like you mentioned, you whiteboarded, decided what you were going to do, and then as the time went on and as constraints were discovered, you adjusted the plan, right? You didn't create tickets, but you divided up the work in a way where everybody was able to operate both together and asynchronously from each other. Frequent communication, that's a good sprint, guys. No, you don't get a shot. Oh my gosh, wow. I was worried about Lord Bird, and then Drew comes in. That was lag. That was latency.
No, I think you're spot on. And Carts and I we kind of hit all those marks. We had to pivot. We did try and break up the work so that we both could be working on separate features, which was difficult to say the least because we didn't really have a shared code base and we were under a time constraint. So we were kind of copying and pasting code from a VS Code live share and running it in the little shared REPL for testing, which worked out pretty good. And we each Carton, you were working on the basically the movement system, and I was trying to work on the aiming and firing system at the same time. And we kind of did that successfully, so something to be said for that.
We won one match, so I'm gonna say it was successful.
You won one match against your other teammates, right? The other squad were.
Yeah, that's true. It's the other 3 that we won against.
Kill streak. He's hard boiled. It's all the muscles on his egg. It's so weird. No! Oh, dang it! I checked the stream for a second. I looked back and checked the notes. You got me.
First mistake. Paying attention to the stream. That was your first mistake.
Yeah. So we got about 6 minutes left. Man, that went by really fast. I want to talk about hackathons kind of abstractly. There's different kinds of hackathons, right? I think ours calling a hackathon would be controversial by some standards, I think. But what are some of the different kinds of wackathons in your guys' opinion? I have some answers. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I think you just said Wackathon.
Okay, Wackathon. Like, let's go and like. I guess I'll let you expound. I don't want to assume.
Well, my understanding on some of these things is maybe a little bit more limited since I'm a little earlier in my career, but
yeah, that's fair.
I think Wackathon is like squashing bugs in the actual application.
Let's go make the product better for. Finally, I can leave now.
I was on an 11 kill streak again. You ruined it.
Oh,
yeah, Carson. I think you're right. That's generally, and I think just generally a hackathon is kind of something product related more so. That's probably why you can't really call what we did a hackathon in some senses. We were more just doing a fun exercise together that had no product impact or benefit.
Oh, Chum's in here.
Yeah, Chum's been doing work in here. Yeah, I agree. Normally, hackathons are product related. There's even like subsets within that. There's like one that's like, nice hat, Chum. There's like
R&D related versus like
where it's like come up with an idea and make it, which ends up turning into like whoever completes the sales team-a-thon.
Yeah. If there's a prize, especially.
Yeah, which like is fun, but it also like stifles innovation, right? Because it's like, no, of course, the sales team's not going to vote for the API change or like the thing that makes like a developer playground like possible. Like, wow, I just skipped both y'all. I'm so good at this game. I am the shell shocker.
Good point. And it made me realize a really cool hackathon would be a dev experience focused hackathon where just the engineers are involved and maybe the engineers vote on the best solution. So the value output is something that increases developer experience by the most versus like product or sales experience. You know?
Yeah.
Not to sound selfish or anything, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of hackathon though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not ready to fight you on like half health. Oh, and thank you, Carson. Now, okay, you can take it, I guess.
I'm trying some of these other guns that I haven't used.
Yeah, they're good. What were some of the other ones? Yeah, make a thing and whoever gets the most vote-a-thon. Competitions also. I think like you can have hackathons that are like meant to like reignite the joy of like programming or like giving people a chance to like spread their wings and try some new tech. So like team development-a-thons, and then there's also like competitions, and I think those belong in like two separate boxes. So like, if I'm playing for money, I'm gonna go with something I know and something that I know I can like do. I'm not gonna be experimenting with new things because I play to win, unlike with shell shockers clearly. Nobody uses grenades except for you, Drew.
It's not true. I just saw another one.
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the next hackathon we do, I don't know if that was fun. I felt like the benefits of the tank one was they were multifaceted, but I think like it was a good exercise to like have teams gel together, work on something, and like a good exercise in like how to run an effective sprints and talk abstractly about it.
It was really funny to see like everybody's personalities kind of come out in their tank.
In their tanks.
Like in the approach and how they were. What's that?
Squirt gun and face hugger.
It's a very close team. Team Prometheus here is very close.
I'm trying to think of what that says about each team. We'll have to analyze that in a separate conversation.
Let's not overanalyze the tank.
Let's not analyze that while it's being recorded. Okay, I gotta get word here. Yes. I'm gonna 360 no scope someone here. That's what I'm missing. Yeah. Man, the crosshairs like go to the edge of the screen when you do that. 360. 360.
You hit that would be amazing.
360. 360 grenade. Good job. Yeah, we've covered a lot. Yeah, I think I'm super proud of like how our team did on that though. We promised we'd talk about hide and seek. I feel like we have to do that before we wrap up on the stream. Let's close with hide and seek. Carson, you want to give a debrief on like what hide and seek was? I could do that, but it feels kind of self-serving, and I've already been talking.
So what is hide and seek?
Anybody has not heard of hide and seek? It is a children's game where one person hides.
We've already established I have low expectations for everybody.
And when you get a bunch of adults together to play it, it can get a little crazy.
360 no scope.
This is
316.
Can't give Carter
316.
No.
I did it. It was like turn around and then aim and shoot. Sorry, Carson. I had to describe it.
I'm not screen peeking, so I'm not sure exactly what was going on your screen.
Oh, it's okay. I was just oh my gosh, you guys are everywhere. Yeah, we after the hackathon, it's kind of like it got thrown around. Long ago, we played hide and seek as a company last year at the retreat, and that is a whole story. But that got out. It's like someone's like, Carter, we should play hide and seek. Like, no, like I gotta be professional. I have a director title. I'm a manager. Managers do not play hide and seek with their teammates. But we ended up playing totally hide and seek in the office. We closed all the windows. We turned off all the lights. There were rules. It was like, you will consent. If you're going to share a hiding spot with somebody, you must get their consent before you share it with them. You're like forcing yourself in like behind like a desk with somebody. You will not touch anybody's personal belongings on their desk. You'll put everything exactly where you put it. No running, which like I broke that rule pretty much immediately. Yeah, hide and seek, corporate hide and seek though. I've never worked anywhere that's done that. Have you guys?
Nope.
Oh, that's a loaded
Me
question.
to JupiterOne. We actually
I played it.
I thought it was fun though. I was kind of nervous. I was like, enough people are asking for this. We're gonna do this, but like this might suck. But it was actually like pretty fun. Hide and seek is wasted on the young. That is I'm gonna quote myself on Twitter for that one. Hide and seek is wasted on. Carter.
We've been paying too much attention to shell shockers. C7 Stingray asked how many people tanked.
Oh man, C7 Stingray. Yeah, let me bring that up here. Thank you.
And that is a cool car, if that is in fact the car that you own.
Corvette.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many people tanked? How many people tanked at tanking? I'll just assume it's how many people did the tanks. We had 4 teams, I think.
1 team of 3 and 3 teams of 2. No, 5 teams, I believe.
We had 5.
Yeah, 1 team of 3 and 3 teams of 2. So that's somebody doing 9. I know we were all packed in like the boardroom, and like it was like watching the Super Bowl or something like that. People just like losing their shiz. Not saying shit on the stream. Oops.
They were shooting for their tanks for sure.
Going crazy, going nuts. It was a blast. Yeah, no, I'm not going to call out the fact that TVs were broken the first time we played hide and seek, but yeah, no TVs were broken this time playing hide and seek. Somebody on this stream who worked here more than 4 months ago definitely hid in the cabinet that had a TV in it still and may have broken it. That's an out-public record. Sorry. No, I didn't say who it was, though. To the owners of the TV, if you're a part of our 2.4 million viewers, we apologize, and we paid you back for it. Hopefully you got the check. Anyways, Carson, any closing thoughts on anything of your choice? It can be on hackathons. Any words of wisdom you want to share to people aspiring to do coding bootcamp, shift careers? Anything before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I would just say keep learning and don't be afraid to ask questions. I think coming in, like the imposter syndrome kind of doesn't go away in some sense, and people are super willing to help. But that being said, like there's a balance, right? So help yourself first, but don't be afraid to ask for help and make connections when you need it.
I like that. I think I have several people in my social circle who are looking to like make career shifts right now, and I think that is really good advice, regardless of where you're at in your career. Also take that. Yeah, I like that. That might be one I quote on our Twitter as well. Also, I got to shout this out. Shout out to Kirk Egg. You're damn right, Egg. I don't know if that's a response to something, but I just responded. I can quote myself on here. Just Egg. Cool. Well, I think we're going to call that a wrap. Carson, thank you so much for joining us, dude. Thank you for teaching me how to get whipped or scrambled in shell shockers, because I definitely had my ass handed to me in this. I'm going to turn this off now. But thank you for your time, dude. Thank you for your wisdom and your feedback. And I'm going to send you backstage now. We will see you next time. Everybody give Carson a round of applause. A hand of applause.
Thank you, guys.
See you, Carson.
That was fun. I feel like you got your thing out. I have to get my thing out too, but I'm not going to do it.
You can't like wear your thing. It's fine.
Are those pit vipers? What are they?
Something like that.
They're cool. I was going to buy some pit vipers for my mountain biking thing. Yeah, I've been mountain biking a lot, but I went to a carnival like 3 days ago. There's like a swarm of like 13-year-olds. All of them were rocking pit vipers. You guys
not,
ruined
yeah.
it for me.
It's not cool anymore. Yeah.
No, like it is like, yeah, guys, hello, fellow teenagers. I too have subscribers.
I am hip with the coolness.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That game, I've been looking forward to playing that on the stream for a while just because it's a great game. But oh, pop quiz. When's our next episode?
Next episode is MM/DD.
MM/DD. Here, let me update that on the Google.
Undisclosed in our notes.
For you really quick. When's the next episode, Drew? I just updated it. It should have shown up. Did it not show up?
I said
oh no, I'm lagging. That's probably what's going on. Yeah, June 28th. Don't miss it. We've got somebody from not at JupiterOne that we're looking to have on here. So stay tuned. It'll be exciting though. I've got somebody calling me right now, and that's really distracting. I don't think we have anything else to go over before we wrap up, do we? I think that's about a wrap. My camera just turned. There we go. No other announcements. We will be opening a Twitter account for.
Oh, is it just me? Am I here? Okay. I think we're just going to maybe outro. I thought I was frozen and my internet was out. Alrighty then. So we can't do our cool outro. Next episode, June 28th. See y'all then. Someone hit the outro.